and thank you for joining us today. My name is Mary Beth Johnson, Acting Senior Supervisor of Strategic Partnerships at Rotary International. I will be the moderator for this 60-minute webinar on package grants. Thank you for joining us today. It looks like we have individuals from all over the world, folks from Nigeria, Dominican Republic, Uganda. We're so happy that everyone can join us today. Thank you. In the next 60 minutes, we will discuss the following agenda topics. First, I will share with you an overview of package grants. Then, our two panelists, Rotarian Rick Snyder and Rotarian Sam Farouk Mukasa, will explain each of the package grants currently available. After you learn about each of the grants, Mary O'Donnell, our package grant senior coordinator for the Rotary Foundation, will explain the online application process. Throughout this presentation, we will ask you questions to review your knowledge and interests. Concluding the webinar, you will have the opportunity to ask questions of all the panelists. Before we get started, though, I want to review a few housekeeping items and let you know how you can participate in today's webinar so you can get the most out of it. Right now, we're looking at an example of the GoToWebinar attendee interface, which is made up of two parts. The viewer window on the left, which allows you to see everything the presenter will share on their screen, and the control panel on the right. Within the control panel is how you can participate in today's event. Let's take a closer look at that control panel. By clicking the orange arrow, you can open and close your control panel. Next, select your audio option. If you would like to listen to audio via telephone, select Use Telephone. The dial-in information will be displayed, including an audio PIN. You must enter your audio PIN in order to have your audio activated. If you'd like to connect via the telephone, the dial-in and access numbers will be provided to you in your control panel once you select the telephone option. Or if you may choose to participate via mic and speakers from your system, if you are using your computer speakers and are having problems hearing, you may wish to try USB headphones, or you may wish to try switching to the telephone option. During the presentation and at the end, you will have the ability to send questions to our webinar staff through the questions pane. Simply type in your question and click Send. Please note that we will not answer the questions as soon as we receive them. Instead, we will save the questions for the end of the presentation when we will do a Q&A. During the Q&A, we will answer as many questions as we have time for. You will also be asked to raise your hand using the hand feature today during the webinar, and if you have any technical issues. As a reminder, we will collect and save questions that come for the Q&A at the end of today's sessions. Today's webinar is being recorded. We will send everyone a link to the recording the day after the webinar. To test the question pod, please take a moment to enter where you are and how the weather is there. We have Raymond. Says a second nice day. Good to have it in a row. Oh, Alan, I'm sorry it's cool and cloudy, but maybe that provides for a lovely morning. Looks like it's hot and rainy in Venezuela from Roberto. Spring has finally arrived in Davenport from Brock. Great weather in Houston with Terry. Sunny and beautiful, says Alva in Nova Scotia. Thank you, everyone. We're so happy that you're here. Now let's get started with the question that brought us all here today. Is a package grant right for your club or district? One way to find out is to ask yourself these questions. Do you want a fully funded project where no DDF or cash contributions are required? Do you want to participate in a sustainable project in one of Rotary's areas of focus? Do you want to work with a partner who already understands how to work with Rotary? And do you want to utilize your skills without having to create a project from scratch? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then a package grant may be right for you. Using the Raise Your Hand feature on your webinar control panel, raise your hand if you have participated in some capacity with a package grant already. That could be that you had to help your district sponsor a package grant. Perhaps you're a team leader for a vocational training team package grant. Fantastic. It looks like we have 4 individuals who have in some way participated in the package grant. We're glad that you're here, but we're also very excited to see those who are new to the package grants joining us today. As you're aware, the Rotary Foundation identified 6 areas of focus for the new grant structure. These areas reflect critical humanitarian needs and issues that Rotarians are already addressing worldwide. They align Rotary with other international development efforts and strategically further the Foundation's mission. Rotarians are doing great things around the world in a variety of capacities and activities. The Rotary Foundation offers 3 grant types in the new Rotary grant model: district grants, global grants, and package grants. Each grant is unique in its purpose and activities, and we hope by the end of this webinar you will have a better understanding of package grants and will be able to share this information with your club and district. For a quick review, district grants fund short-term and small-scale projects and activities, either local or international, that support the Foundation's mission but do not necessarily tie to the 6 areas of focus, thereby allowing a broad range of choices for clubs and districts. Global grants, however, are a larger grant award that fund long-term projects that will have sustainable outcomes and relate to the goals of the areas of focus. Clubs and districts can partner together to develop projects that incorporate humanitarian activities, scholarships, and/or vocational training teams. Projects respond for global grants to a need the benefiting community has identified, and all projects must have measurable results. And lastly, we have package grants. Package grants are similar in many ways to global grants. They are long-term projects and activities that are sustainable and have a measurable impact. They must support one of the areas of focus. They must include scholarships, vocational training teams, and humanitarian projects. However, there are some very special aspects about package grants. Package grants are unique because they are pre-designed, sustainable projects developed with strategic partners. They're fully funded by World Fund and the strategic partner, so no cash or DDF contributions are required by Rotarians. Package grants offer meaningful and substantial service opportunities for Rotarians, such as assessing community needs, providing technical expertise, designing and facilitating training, publicizing the project, and evaluating its progress. Package grants must have an international scope, and that clubs and districts can participate from different parts of the world. Because the general framework or blueprint of the grant is already designed, Rotarians can focus their talents and energy on implementation. Additionally, package grants are a great way to demonstrate the effectiveness and power of working alongside a partner. With the strategic partner's input on the design, the package grant activities not only meet Rotary's goals and objectives, but those of the partner as well, as we work together to create positive change in our communities. To meet these objectives and goals of both Rotary and the strategic partner, there are specific details to each package grant that we will review during the webinar that include location and participant qualifications. So let's go ahead now and test your knowledge with our first Myth or truth game. Is the following statement a myth or truth? Any well-designed project can be turned into a package grant and be fully funded by the foundation. We'll allow a few more seconds. See if there's any more responses coming in. We'll keep the poll open for just a few more seconds. Okay. Great. All right. We have, if you look at the scores of our group today, 75% are correct. That statement is a myth. Congratulations. Package grants are jointly developed and funded by the Rotary Foundation and a strategic partner. Package grants are a unique opportunity to work on the pre-designed project with the Foundation's strategic partners. Club and district developed grants, Club and district developed grants are the best source of funding projects without a strategic partner. For some helpful background information on strategic partners, these are organizations that are NGOs, government agencies, universities, or corporations that have a similar size and global scope to Rotary, meaning that they must be able to implement projects all over the world. Strategic partners also have an expertise in one or more of Rotary's areas of focus. They have the ability to provide meaningful service opportunities for Rotarians. That's what we call our package grants. And they must have the ability to provide a minimum of US $1 million to the partnership. These partnerships are large-scale, multi-year relationships managed at the headquarters level. In the initial stages of building the partnership, Rotary and the strategic partner learn about one another's mutual goals, objectives, and needs, and then develop the broad outlines of a package grant to meet those needs. The geographic locations are also based on the needs and interests of Rotary and the partner. Rotarians provide input and feedback on the partnership development and help identify key stakeholders and mobilize clubs in the areas where the package grants will be implemented. So, going back to our myth or truth game, as a general framework of a package grant is designed and implemented with a strategic partner, a club or district design project cannot be turned into a package grant. During the pilot, Rotary formed strategic partnerships with Aga Khan University, Mercy Ships, UNESCO IHE, the Institute for Water Education, and Oiko Credit. I would like to note that the contract for Rotary's partnership with Oiko Credit expires at the end of June, and the trustees decided not to renew this partnership. We do have Rotarians implementing package grants with Oiko Credit in the Philippines and India, and we will continue to support these great efforts. However, for the purpose of talking about available package grants today, we will not be talking about Rotary's partnership and grant activities with Oiko Credit. I would like to introduce everyone to our two panelists who will speak about each of the package grants. Rotarian Rick Snyder lives in North Carolina and is the current District 7690 Governor. He joined the Rotary Club of Lexington in 2002 after he worked with Mercy Ships for 15 years and saw firsthand the good work of Rotary. In 1969, he began a career in marketing management with Eastman Kodak. In 1989, he and Linda began an 8-year career in real estate. They sold their business in 1997 to start their 15-year volunteer career with Mercy Ships. In 2009, Rick stepped back from Mercy Ships to begin his district leadership journey. He and Linda are Paul Harris Fellows, members of the Paul Harris Society, benefactors, and major donors. We also have with us today Sam Farouk Mukasa. Sam lives in Uganda and is a past president of the Kololo Club, which he joined in 1990. He is also a member of the RLI training team in Uganda and a member of the cadre of technical advisors. Rotary's cadre conducts audits all over the world, and Sam Farouk has audited projects in Nigeria. He earned his MBA from Nkumba University in Uganda and works as an accountant. He enjoys country music and going to the gym and spending time with his wife, Agatha, and their children. And now, Rick Snyder will talk about one of the first package grants and strategic partners.
Thank you, Mary Beth. The first package grant I'm going to discuss is a vocational training team with Mercy Ships that will address the goals of the disease prevention and treatment area of focus. The package grant is called Vocational Training and Medical Service Team. Mercy Ships uses its state-of-the-art hospital ship, the Africa Mercy, to deliver free, world-class health care, capacity building, and sustainable development to those without access in the developing world. Founded in 1978, the charity has performed services in more than 70 countries, directly affecting over 2 million people. In this package grant, Rotarians select and lead vocational training teams of medical professionals to assist in life-changing surgeries and provide training to local healthcare professionals in conjunction with Mercy Ships programming in West Africa. Grant activities will take place on the ship and off ship in local hospitals or health clinics to promote sustainable medical training with local healthcare professionals. At this time, there are 3 types of training teams offered. Disease Control Training Team, which is a team that I organize in my district, the Cataract Surgery Team, and a Vesicovaginal Fistula, or VVF, surgery team. Mercy Ships and Rotary work with applicants to accommodate their desired travel dates. The location varies based on the ship's location. Currently, the ship is in Guinea, West Africa, but will head to Congo-Brazzaville in the upcoming months. Approximately 3 grants will be awarded per Rotary year. Later in this webinar, Mary will discuss where to find more detailed resources about team requirements and eligibility for this package grant. The first Rotary-funded vocational training and medical service team traveled to Guinea in March and was sponsored by my district. Now, I would like to take a few minutes to share that experience with you. When I first learned of the strategic partnership opportunities under the Future Vision Plan and the package grants for vocational training teams, 2 thoughts immediately came to mind. Number 1, this presents great opportunities to engage Rotarians in hands-on cross-cultural projects. And number 2, it would involve my passion for service to those less fortunate than we are through my relationships with both Mercy Ships and Rotary. In reviewing these specific project opportunities under the Mercy Ships Strategic Partnership, I realized that the vocational training team must be comprised of team members that have very specific expertise and training in the area of focus of the project. With that in mind, the first priority was to recruit a qualified Rotarian as a team leader and empower that team leader to build her team. We looked for a Rotarian in our district that had expertise in the area of focus for the project, as well as leadership skills to lead the team. Our team worked closely with the Rotary Package Grants Department, the Mercy Ships Programs Department, and the Africa Mercy field staff in Guinea to identify the need and the training venues. In their initial debriefing following the trip to Guinea, the team members saw great benefit from their preparation and planning and felt that their commitment to service was realized in the results they attained. And while it is too soon to know the full extent of the impact of our training team, we saw glimpses of some behavior changes among the healthcare professionals that we trained. One example of sanitary improvements that a hospital made was to post hand washing signs throughout their facility following what they learned during our training.
Thank you, Rick, for sharing with us your experience with Mercy Ships, and how exciting to sponsor the first vocational training medical service team with Mercy Ships. We hope to continue to learn from your team in the months to come. Now let's play another game of myth or truth. Is the following statement a myth or truth? Vocational training teams do not need to consist of Rotarians from the same district. Let's take a moment to mark your answer. And as we wait for folks to mark their answer, we want to let you know that the new Rotary Foundation Grants vocational training team is a new concept that has different requirements for each package grant and is also different from global grant requirements. Okay, we'll keep it open for a little bit longer to get some last answers in. Excellent, 82% are correct. The statement is true. Package grant vocational training teams only require the team leader to be a Rotarian. All other team members can be Rotarians from any district or any non-Rotarian. The most important requirement of all team members, including the team leader, is that they meet the professional qualifications. Now, Rotarian Sam Farouk will discuss our next package grants and strategic partners.
Thank you very much, Mary Beth. The next two package grants we'll discuss are with the Aga Khan University, which is commonly known as AKU. One is for scholarships and the other is for vocational training teams. Both will address the needs and the goals within the maternal and child health area of focus. The package grants with the AKU are called nursing scholarships and training healthy educators. Aga Khan University is a private non-profit university with 11 campuses and teaching sites in countries across East Africa, the Middle East, South and Central Asia, and Europe. Currently, we partner with Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda campuses. The university's curriculum in nursing, medicine, and educational development incorporates the unique needs of the communities within the areas that they serve. I will first briefly discuss the Aga Khan University scholarships, and then I will explain the vocational training team package grant that is open to all districts. The local Rotary clubs take on the responsibility of seeing that their scholars successfully complete the program and are strengthened as leaders in their communities. The Rotarians' mentoring and counseling is a key component of the scholarship. The Rotarians discuss topics with the students such as work-life balance, building professional skills, and becoming leaders in their communities. They provide the additional support that is needed while the students navigate a challenging yet rewarding time in their lives. The structures of AKU Advanced Nursing Program in East Africa allows students to advance their skills and obtain higher education without leaving their workplace and families, and without loss of income, since most of the students are primary caretakers of their families. AKU designed the nursing curriculum to reflect local needs and government systems so that when they learn, what they learn can be directly applied to their own current work. Now, since AKU's students' body comes from communities near the campuses in East Africa, this package grant is currently running for District 9221 and 9212 which districts have been capped out of District 9200. The two districts, which were Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, are allocated. The students must first be enrolled with the AKU nursing program and must show leadership within their community as one of the major components of their program. Now, the AKU, commonly referred to package grant, is designed to develop the nursing and midwifery program in my district. Last year, Rotarians in the District 9200 selected and have been mentoring 24 nurses and midwives in their communities. Now, this first cohort of scholars will graduate in February 2014 with the skills and support needed to address their community's most pressing maternal and child health needs. The second class of 24 scholars have been selected and will begin their mentoring soon, which will bring the total number to 48 nurses and midwifery students. That is a number of 16 at its campus sponsored by Rotary. Now, since most of the clubs that are carrying out the health-related programs, such as immunization, medical camps, and medical outreach programs, the Rotarians are already familiar with the grant health activities because they always come in contact with the pregnant mothers and their babies and the challenges associated with maternal and child health. Each country appoints a country chair who coordinates the project at the country level. They mobilize the scholars, selection teams, and the clubs in their country to mentor the scholars. In addition to mentoring the clubs, the chairs make annual reports on their experience with the scholars as part of their roles and responsibilities, and they all have reported good progress with the scholars. Scholars that I have spoken to are shocked at the level of confidence that they have since they started associating with the mentoring clubs. They have been able to conduct classes for expectant mothers, and some have even been assigned to their health units as administration on the administration bodies. Similar other scholars tell of the empowerment acquired from interacting with Rotary as a major achievement of the Rotary Scholarship. Now, partnerships such as the AKU Package Grant have enabled the building of the much needed capacity and leadership empowerment in the three countries, and more importantly, enable innovation and the creation of knowledge to address local health challenges. The next AKU package grant I'd like to discuss are the VTTs, called Training Health Educators. These VTTs are available to Rotary clubs and districts around the world who meet the qualifications and requirements. In this grant, Rotarians select and lead vocational training teams of nurses educators. These teams design and provide training programs that enhance the professional development of university-level nursing faculty and community health educators at the Aga Khan University 3 campuses in East Africa. The teams also participate in a service project at any existing clinic or healthcare program. At this time, there are only 4 types of training topics that can be carried by the VTTs. 1 is the student engagement. 2, student assessment. 3, integrating theory and practice. And 4, curriculum specialists. Similar to the mastership VTT, it is a best practice to choose the Rotarian team leader first. AKU, for the moment, is solely responsible for assessing the team's professional qualifications. The team leader, therefore, must be a Rotarian with international experience, leadership skills, and fulfill the team member qualification. There must be at least 3 other team members who can be Rotarian or non-Rotarians, as long as they meet the professional qualifications. All training will be conducted in English, so all team members must be fluent in English. The team leader who works closely with AKU faculty on the design of training curriculum and the logistics of the programs. Now, local Rotarians in East Africa provide the fellowship opportunity to the teams assisting with logistics and implementation of the service project. VTT is typically 2 to 4 weeks, and the grant awarded is between $20 to $30, $20,000 to $30,000. Now, the first funded training health educator team from Nigeria, led by one Rotarian doctor, and the 3 nurse educator team members traveled to Kampala, Uganda, to share expertise with AKU nursing faculty on integrating theory and practice by promoting student learning and improving effectiveness in education. Team members also conducted a prenatal and health education clinic at a health facility that served about 120,000 people near Kampala. The second training team came from the United States of America, led by one Rotarian nurse and 4 nurse education team members that traveled to Nairobi, Kenya, to share expertise on student engagement with AKU's nursing faculty, which also conducted a 2-day faculty development workshop for local health educators in and near Nairobi. The third vocational training team from the US, led by one Rotarian nurse and 3 nurse educator team members, is currently in Dar es Salaam, working with AKU faculty and sharing expertise on student engagement. We are looking forward to learning about the team's experience when they return way in May. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sam Farouk, for sharing that information about the package grants with AKU and your experiences serving as a package grant primary contact in District 9200. Here we have a few pictures of our scholars. How exciting that Rotary is currently sponsoring 48 nursing scholars and that 3 VTTs have traveled under this partnership. Similarly with Mercy Ship's VTTs, it's too soon to report on Rotary's full impact, but we're hoping for very positive outcomes. Rick, I now turn it back over to you to discuss the final package grant opportunity and strategic partner.
Thank you again, Mary Beth. UNESCO IHE Institute for Water Education is the largest international postgraduate professional water education institute in the world and is located in Delft, the Netherlands. The Scholarship for Water and Sanitation Professionals is in the water and sanitation area of focus. The Masters of Science programs are 18 months long. In order to apply for this scholarship, the student must have already obtained admission to one of the following Delft-based programs at UNESCO IHE: a Master's of Science in Urban Water and Sanitation, a Master's in Science in Water Management, or a Master's in Science in Water Science and Engineering. Rotary has no involvement in obtaining admission to the programs at UNESCO IHE. The scholar will have to contact the Institute directly to apply for these programs. The grant is for 25,000 euros, paid directly to UNESCO IHE, and the Institute covers the remaining tuition needed for each scholar. The Rotarians' role in this package grant are to interview, select, and sponsor students who live or work near their club or district. The sponsor clubs in the student's home country must maintain contact with the scholar throughout his or her studies. Once the scholar successfully completes their academic program in the Netherlands, they will return to their home country to carry out a water-related project with the sponsor club or district. Host Rotarians in District 1600, the district where UNESCO IHE's campus is located, play a key role in these package grants. They involve the scholars in local cultural events, such as hosting dinners and organizing field trips, and Rotary-related events, such as meetings and conferences. They also help students adapt to a new culture and country, and sometimes even new ways of transportation. District 1600 donated Dutch bikes to all of the scholars to help them get around campus and Delft. Currently, Rotary is funding a cohort of 8 scholars studying at UNESCO IHE. These scholars come from Uganda, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, and Argentina. Rotary is also in the process of selecting the second cohort of scholars. Due to the popularity of the scholarship and the success of the partnership with UNESCO IHE and with the trustees' support and approval, Rotary is doubling the cohort this year to 16 scholarships. The Scholar Application Toolkit is available on the UNESCO IHE website. Here is a great picture of the Rotary UNESCO IHE scholars outside one of the buildings on campus. This cohort is truly a Rotary global representation.
Thank you so much, Rick and Sam Farouk, for your excellent job reviewing each of the package grants and sharing your personal experiences with us today. You really have that direct hands-on experience with the package grants, and we greatly appreciate your feedback. We are very excited also about the next cohort of UNESCO IHE Rotary Scholars. We anticipate another global class. Now that you have heard about each of the package grants currently available, which one would your club or district most likely apply for? We have the UNESCO IHE scholarships for water and sanitation professionals, the AKU VTT for training health educators, the AKU nursing scholarships, the Mercy Ships medical training teams, or we could be waiting for a new package grant option, or ones that don't fit the club, or maybe at this time would not fit your club or district's interests. Okay, we'll leave the poll open for just a few more seconds. Let everyone select the next package grant that they think their club or district might be interested in. Great. It looks like the majority are waiting for new package grant options, but shortly behind that, we have a lot of interest in the Mercy Ships VTT, which is fantastic to see, and the UNESCO IHE scholarships, which is great because we do have scholarship options still available for that program. Next, I would like to introduce our last panelist, Mary O'Donnell. Mary is a Senior Coordinator for Package Grants. She will be your main contact for all package grant applications and any questions related to the available package grants. Today she will take you through the new online application system.
Thank you, Mary Beth. I hope you are all excited about all of the package grants opportunities you've already heard about today. In order to apply for a package grant, go to the Rotary Grants page, just as you would to apply for district or global grants, which is www.rotary.org/grants. The link was just sent out to you in your chat box, and I invite you to click on it and follow us along with us, either looking at your screenshots provided or in real time through the website. Sign in with your member access ID and password at the top of the page as seen on the screen. Throughout this presentation, you have heard the panelists mention how important it is to review each grant's overview and terms and condition reference document. You can access helpful reference documents by clicking on Learning and References, as highlighted on the screen, and then click on Grant Types and click on Learn More About Packaged Grants. And we will send out that link to you as well. The overview document has key information about qualifications for the scholarship or vocational training team. Many of you had questions about each of the vocational training teams our panelists spoke about. And if you go to these documents, you'll find a lot of the answers to your questions. These resources are only available to Rotarians after you have signed in to the Rotary Grants website. After reading these reference documents for the grants you are interested in, you may be ready to apply. Click on Start Your Grant on the right side of the screen to begin the online application. First, choose Package Grants in the left-hand column. This will take you to the Package Grants homepage. Read this page carefully, as it has important information about the application process. The first steps documents are the same as the overview documents you reference in the Learning and Resource page. Please note that as part of the Package Grant application process, applicants will download the supplemental documents to fill them out and then upload those documents into their grant application. After you read through the home page, click on the View First Steps and Apply button to begin. Please contact grants@rotary.org if you have any questions with uploading the application documents or any other part of the application. This is a new system, and it will take us all some time to get used to it, but I am sure you will quickly see the benefits of using it.
Thank you, Mary. Package grants have an exciting future ahead. While these grants may not fit every club and district's needs and interests at this time, the good news is that Rotary is working to expand this grant type. Package grants will grow in the number of grants awarded and a number of strategic partners, and our package grant portfolio will someday include partners and grants in all of the areas of focus. So those of you, the 42% who said that they were waiting for new package grant opportunities, they're on their way. Additionally, Rotary will continue to evaluate and measure the impact of each of the current grants and partnerships in order to ensure they are meeting the proposed goals. I would now like to take the remainder of our time to answer questions we have received during the webinar. We know we have received some questions already coming through. Those of you who have not submitted a question yet, please type your question in the question pane of your control panel. You can answer questions to you can ask questions to any of our panelists today. Go ahead and take a look at some of the questions that came in. Tim Bruley. It looks like your question is something we just recently addressed, but it's something very important we want to make sure we're clarifying. Will there be more strategic partners coming in the future? If yes, when and how many? Tim, that's a great question. As we stated, there will be more partners coming in the future, as well as more package grant opportunities. We were tasked with finding a strategic partner in each of the 6 areas of focus. And as you've noticed, we have 2 areas of focus that we do not currently have partners in. One being basic education and literacy, and the other being peace and conflict resolution and prevention. We'll also be looking for another partner to fill in the empty slot of the economic community development area of focus. Looking through a few more of these questions. These are great questions coming in, everyone. Thank you. Is there a minimum or maximum number of team members? This is from Alan Hurst. Alan, I believe you're referring to the vocational training team package grants. We do have a minimum, but it really depends on each of our partners' needs and each of the package grant qualifications. But for the majority, it's a minimum of 3 team members and 1 team leader. Maximum, again, it goes back to what the budget would be. It goes back to how the partners can host, what size of team is available. But usually it's no more than 5 altogether, so 4 team members and 1 team leader. And I hope that answers your questions. But as Mary noted, talking about the package grant resources, it really depends on each of the partners in each of those package grants. I'll save that next question. Looks like Olufemi has a great question, but he's offline. We'll wait for him to come back. We have a question from Brent Williams. With 3 grants awarded per year for package grants with Mercy Ships, what will primary criteria be for selecting grant participants if there are numerous applications? Brent, another great question. As we noted, there's different criteria per the partner and per the package grant, and we established that with the partner well in advance. For Mercy Ships VTTs, the criteria depends on what the training topic is. So we look at their medical qualifications and medical background. We also incorporate Mercy Ships in that vetting process. So Mercy Ships has a lot to say in what team members are qualified to provide training in their communities that they work in. Package grants, however, are awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. So once Mary O'Donnell would receive a full, complete application that fits all the criteria and qualifications, and once Mercy Ships also approves that application and the qualifications, that first application would become approved. So it really depends on the first complete application that comes in. That grant would be awarded. Okay, I'm looking through a few more of these questions. Another great question from Robert Parkinson. The number of grants with Mercy Ships seems very limiting. Is there a plan to expand this program? Is it limited by funds from Mercy Ships, or by Rotary, or by both? Robert, when we first established our strategic partnerships, in a way, we're piloting those partnerships. The activities that we do with our partners are new for Rotarians, and they're also new for our partner organizations. We would love to be able to offer multiple opportunities right away, but it's something that we pay close attention to, and that we want to pilot the program first, see what the results are, and to see if our objectives for both organizations are being met. So far, we have 2 teams that have participated with the Mercy Ships VTTs, and we know we have multiple applications coming in for the next ones. So clearly, there's a lot of great interest coming from Rotarians participating in these package grants. We will wait until we have these next teams come in and do a full assessment of the VTTs. But we are very optimistic and positive that in the coming years, we will increase the number of Mercy Ship VTTs. But we really wanted to try and test out the program first and see if our objectives are being met. So hopefully we will have those increased numbers in the coming years. Okay, looking through a few more of these questions. Okay, from Sanjay Jaspandi. Who pays the expenses of travel, room, and board during the study? Do local Rotarians host all scholars of the IHE? So Sanjay, I believe you're referring to the Water and Sanitation Professional Scholarship with UNESCO IHE. The scholarship is a joint cost sharing between Rotary and UNESCO IHE. So the expenses of travel, of room, and board are part of your full scholarship. And yes, the local Rotarians in the Netherlands, most of them are in Delft or nearby, they host all of the Rotary scholars at IHE. They do not host all of the scholars. So the scholars that are sponsored by a Rotary scholarship are hosted by the Rotarians in Delft. We actually have at least one Rotary club that's assigned to each of the scholars. There's also a second backup Rotary club as well. So there is a lot of great support by the local Rotarians in Delft and nearby for the Rotary IHE scholars. Okay, have time for more questions. These are really great that are coming in. What is the deadline for the Water and Sanitation Scholarship? This is from Ariane Carrier. I apologize if I did not pronounce your surname correctly. Ariane, the deadline for the Water and Sanitation Scholarship is July 1st this year. However, if this is a scholarship that you are interested in, as I mentioned before, package grants are a first-come, first-served basis. So we would highly recommend submitting your application to a local Rotary club as soon as possible. As Rick mentioned earlier, though, students first have to be admitted to UNESCO IHE. They need to have that admittance letter with them when they apply to their local Rotary Club. But I would not wait until June or even at the end of June to apply. I would try and apply as soon as possible because we have already started receiving applications, complete applications for that scholarship opportunity. Okay, looks like I have a couple more questions. Looking through them. Looks like Ray Shire wasn't able to understand Sam's list of the 4 types of AKU VTTs. Ray, we can follow up with you on that, but just for a quick review, we have 4 different topics. It's student engagement, student assessment, integrating theory and practice, and curriculum specialists. So again, those are the 4 training topics for our training health educators within Aga Khan University's School of Nursing. Okay. Mac Hickman has a question. Is there a limit of the number of VTTs we can arrange in a Rotary year? I wonder, Mac, if you're asking per your district or per vocational training teams available. We do have a limit per partner on the vocational training package grants. With Aga Khan University, right now it's 3 per year. With Mercy Ship, same thing, it's 3 per year. If it's your club or district, we don't have a rule on how many VTTs you can do for package grants, but per partner there is a minimum. Or actually there's a maximum per year. From Susan Strail, how long is the Mercy Ship team abroad? What size are the teams? So the training can go approximately 2 to 3 weeks. Our 2 teams right now are at about the 2-week time period. The size of the teams are 3 team members and 1 team leader. And again, that goes back to what we talked about a little bit before, that it depends on the budget, it depends on the capacity of the partner to host a team, but we have noticed in the last couple of years that a team size of 3 team members and 1 team leader seems to be a great composition for that size of a VTT. Looking through some of these questions, let's see. Bonnie Black, great question. Will those with experience and understanding of package grants, like our presenters today or staff, be available for district conferences to introduce and explain these to our Rotarians? I could probably speak on behalf of staff. We'd be more than happy to attend your district conference and help explain some of these grant activities and to talk about our strategic partners. We do have certain Rotarians who will present in district conferences. Sam Farouk, I know you presented in your conference and a lot of district training in District 9200. Rick Snyder, I believe you also presented in your recent district conference, and your team actually, the team returned, the Mercy Ship's vocational training team, also presented at district conference. So staff is certainly available. If it's a matter of wanting to connect some of the Rotarians involved, I think it might be best to contact Mary or I, and we can help connect you to Rotarians that live nearby or are part of your district that have some experience with package grants. But Bonnie, that's a great question. We do have a lot of requests that do come in asking for either materials or for someone to actually speak at the district conference, and we'd be more than happy to coordinate that with you. Yeah, actually, we just had a great idea from one of our staff members. Rick, would you like to talk a little bit about your new role as the package grant coordinator for your district and how you've tried to facilitate some of that training and sharing that knowledge within your district on package grants?
Sure. I'm sorry. Sure, I would. It really was extremely helpful to be a part of the of our first package grant, and in working with our team leader Jenny Braswell in developing the team, because it was really in putting the team together that we were able to identify need and really sort of build some good synergy within the team. As you mentioned, Mary Beth, our whole team was present at our district conference last week, and at that conference they presented and did just a fantastic job of sharing their experience. I think it's that sharing of experience that's really has been helpful, and I think will continue to be helpful as we not only reach out into our district, but as a previous question came, our team leader Jenny Braswell and myself have offered our availabilities to a couple of surrounding districts, and really look forward to sharing what package grants can mean for the district.
Thank you, Rick, for sharing that. That's very helpful. Thank you. I also want to extend that question to Sam Farouk. And Sam, I know that you are experiencing your district splitting from 9200, it's going to 9211 and 9212. If you might want to take a few moments and talk about how you're helping to train the next leadership taking on the package grants in those two districts.
Thank you very much, Mary. That's true. We are end of June. We are splitting into two districts, and the countries which are benefiting from this package grants will certainly split, and two will be in one district and one will remain in one district. What we have so far done is that we have started the process of identifying the new chairs of the three countries, the two districts and the three countries. What we have done is that we have already held a small session with the new likely country chairs. They have not yet been fully confirmed, but we know that they will be. We've had already a session where we have discussed the process of setting up the mentoring clubs. What we have done right now is that before the split of District 9200, using again the outgoing and the new country chairs, we have gone through the process of identifying the clubs for the new intakes, because the old ones, that is reasonably okay. We already have the mentoring clubs. What we have done now is that we are using the new chairs mentored by the outgoing chairs in the circumstances, and identify the new mentoring clubs. And I'm glad to say that so far we have already done that. We have just about one or two more clubs where we need to identify the mentors of the mentoring clubs. Because what we normally do is that after identifying a club, we are now identifying an individual within the club who is attached to the scholar, and that person continues to be in touch with the scholars. I've even set our targets to make it a little bit more workable. That per quarter, we are going to make sure that the country chair ensures that in every quarter, he or she visits one of the club, which club that is mentoring a scholar, and ensure that they have a one-to-one discussion with the Rotarians to ensure that that interaction is going on. We have even taken it to a further level, that we are saying twice a year we are going to meet the scholars in their workplace, in their schools, at the university, so that we can have an understanding of their challenges. The reason we are doing this is because that in the old case we had a few, one or two scholars who got scared of coming to Rotary clubs because sometimes the Rotarians are scaring and whatnot. So we said to avoid that, we are going to make sure that we travel to their places of work, of school, and make sure that the mentors meet the scholars in their workplace as Rotarians, so that there is that demystification of a Rotarian being away from the scholars. So this is what we have done so far. We believe that the transition is reasonably working, and so far we are happy with that.
Sam Farouk, thank you so much for sharing that, and same to you, Rick, as well. Obviously, your direct experience with the package grants and working with the partner has been very valuable for your districts, and it's great to see that you're also continuing that role in helping to train the 2 new districts, making sure our programs are still effective, our partnerships are still effective, and continuing that package grant role within the Rotary world, too. So we really appreciate all your efforts from the beginning and to see that continuing on. Thank you so much to you both. We're running a little bit short on time. We're at about an hour right now, and we just want to close up with a couple last comments. So during today's webinar, you should have learned about the uniqueness of package grants compared to the other 2 foundation grant types, the benefits of package grants, what package grants are available, Rotary's current strategic partners, and how to apply for a package grant. And we hope that a package grant is right for you. Sorry, we're running a little short on time. We'll have to quickly run through those quotes, but they're fantastic. We can try and send those out later. We also want to thank you for participating in today's webinar, and a very big thank you to Sam Farouk and Rick for being our guest panelists today and for sharing your very valuable experiences. We would also like to say thank you to all the audience members who have already worked with package grants that joined us today. I wish we had enough time to share each of your wonderful experiences with this audience. You will be receiving a survey after the webinar. Please take the time to complete the survey honestly. We appreciate your feedback on your experience, and as a reminder, we also are recording today's webinar. We will be sending out a link to view the recording within 24 hours. Please share this link with your club or district. And any questions that we did not respond to, we had a lot coming in, they're really great questions. They will be answered by email after the webinar. And as always, if you have any questions about package grants, feel free to contact us at grants@rotary.org. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you, our panelists, and thank you for joining us today.